We love our Dodges. Just a little bit. And we're knocking down the final sleeve on the 440 block. Roger got his custom-made knob working good. And the boring bar.
Homemade knob number 3.
There it is. Better than I could do. I would have just yelled at it.
It's gonna work till we do something better, but
Alright, Roger, we got our 440 now over here to get it decked, right?
yep.
Cool. And get the whole top of the face where the cylinders go down nice and square. Just a slight lip left over from where we machined down these sleeves and get us a nice surface to mount our new heads on there. I'm here working on the T-Bird and Roger's over there getting our 440 ready to get decked. Alex is over here at home and we're playing around with looking at what we're going to order for our front K-member, and I think this is the kit we're going to go with. So that's going to do a really nice job of replacing the whole front K-member. We're going to go tubular on everything, and then you just have to add some adapter plates to the K-member for the big block, but that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to order it up here in a minute. Here we are on the Blockmaster, decking the 440 block. Roger's making some witness marks on there with the Sharpie so we know if it's going true across the top. If it's not, we'll see Sharpie gone in some spots and not in the other, right?
Yes, sir.
Cool.
We've leveled it out both ways. We should be on the money. We're off a little difference in the deck height on those sleeves as to where we cut them down to on the boring bar.
Sure. How far down are we taking the deck height here? Just enough to get it true?
Yeah, I'm guessing 10, 15 thousandths.
Okay.
Mount is being squared off of the mains, so the deck may be off end to end a little bit. When we get finished up, it will be 90 degrees of the crankshaft.
Okay.
Hangers. And it will also be equal distance on side to side, so it makes the compression a lot more even.
Perfect. What sort of increments do you use as far as each pass, Roger? Just like a couple thousandths, just really tiny?
Yeah, just sneak up on it. Like I say, with the difference in the variation on height.
You don't want to do too much?
Cut it nice, well, nice and smooth or easy, so you're not running into one that's up 20 thousandths higher and it beats up the tooling and makes it sound like it's going to jump out on the floor.
Yeah, that makes sense. So now we're getting the decking now nice and fine-tuned, cutting off a little bit more in the back here than on this side, so now we can get a dial indicator and fine tune and adjust how we're going to level out the block and get a perfect 90-degree cut. We just checked everything with the dial indicator and Roger says we're only within a few thousandths, so it's going to be nice and square. Go ahead and get a nice 90-degree cut on the top of this meeting surface for the cylinder heads.
well as this side now.
Getting a nice flat, even cut.
Now we'll find out how close it is end to end.
Right, because this might not cut, but that might will. Maybe will. So cool. I love stuff like this. On our Storm Vulcan Blockmaster Model 85B. So Roger was just explaining to me how it's pretty common for an engine block to have one side of it maybe be a little taller than the other, so you can see how we've been machining it down and it's nice and clear where it's cutting because it was higher over here and a little bit lighter on this side of the block. So had we left it like that, you technically would have a slightly larger volume in the cylinders on the back side of the block versus the front side. So now we're going to be getting totally even compression across the board on the engine. It's just going to be running optimal.
If you're just concerned about getting the deck surface flat, like in a production rebuild shop, we find this inconsistency here. More likely they undo the fixture, raise this up where it touches this bar, put shim stock in there until they got this to come out the same.
Okay.
And then they probably be able to finish it off in 1 or 2 cuts. So this way we're going to be, 4 or 5 cuts.
Right. So we're getting it.
But we're actually squaring the block too, where the other way it'd still be out of square when they got done.
Right. It's just got a flat deck, but it's not square 90 degrees to crank.
Yep.
Cool. Those being
That
low
way,
spots.
that's it. Right here, it's really not that big of a deal because you're still quite a ways from your fire ring and your head gasket. But you got to really watch on this side of it, which is the edge of the cylinder.
Because you don't want it pouring water into the cylinder.
Right. Yeah. You leave a big void in there, everything else is sealing, and then you open up a direct path for it to go right past it.
Spot there from the water mostly disappeared.
It's pretty dramatic, but now we're only taking like 4,000 off of where we were before.
Yeah. And back over here on the 383, which we were just prepping for a future build. Got Roger's over there flipping around the 440. We've already got the passenger side nicely decked. Getting the driver's side ready to go. Over here just grinding out all these irregularities from the casting process. Do this one-handed for you guys. And then I'll set up my tripod. Pulling out the dowels, the alignment dowels.
Yeah, cool. Pulled like a collet.
Oh yeah.
This is tapered, this is tapered.
Cool.
little clamp assembly to put down force on the block. The weight of the block will pretty well hold itself anyway, but with on the jack stand on one side and this on the other side, we're able to dial it in and make a good solid setting on it.
Heck yeah.
Leave this just a little bit loose until we get the top side dialed in.
Just what you wanted her to do.
Yeah. Been waiting all week for that one.
Yeah. That's the first stroke down the new engine sleeve.
Yeah, there you go. The problem is it fell out of the bottom.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
You doing that just to catch any major burrs or big irregularities?
Just because I'm going to set the level on it.
Okay.
We don't want anything gasket or burr or anything sticking up in there.
Throwing the level off.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Actually, I'll probably just go one step more and go ahead and set this one with a dial indicator so we shouldn't have to go back and recheck it.
Cool.
Come up this side just a little bit. 7, I'll push this side down. Here we are, right on the money.
So it was on 7 before, now it's on 8.
Well, let's see, we got 47.
I always screw up how reading these things.
40.
Uh-huh.
And each one of those is a thou.
Okay.
See, we're sitting there, 8. If that line was up to 8, or down farther, you'd be at 8.
Okay.
So 45, 46, 47. 45, 46, 47.
Perfect. Nice and level.
No, but
Full speed ahead on the driver's side. And get our first cut here going.
you feel here you got more sticking up than you do on this one.
Oh
You
yeah.
see a pretty heavy cut here, and we may not even touch by the time we get back to here.
Get our 440 over on the engine stand real quick and get that thing nice and deburred, and then we can go ahead and order pistons and start figuring out all the rest of the pieces to the puzzle of this cool build coming up. The 440 on the engine stand, and we'll do the same process as before and go ahead and deburr any of the hard casting lines and make it look real nice and pretty. And you can see our nice decking surface from where it got machined yesterday. So we'll be back in a minute, gonna drop off the transmissions and get those looked over, and then we'll pull the engine out of the Super Bee. Right, boys and girls, we're back here at Roger's shop once again to go ahead and finish up the job that we've been doing on Alex's 440, and I'll get the actual cylinder walls bored down to our main size of 4.320. So we've already seen in the past, we've got the whole top of the block surface resurfaced and decked and brought down nice and smooth, nice and level and flat. And now we'll go ahead and actually bore out our cylinder walls to the proper diameter that they should be consistent with our pistons. Here is, just to show you guys if I haven't already, I think I have. Here's another view of our beautiful pistons. So these bad boys will be pumping out nice 10.4 to 1 compression in this badass 440, and Alex is going to be having a hell of a time going down the road in this. So just to show you, for example, right now, this piston would not fit down in the cylinder.
You're gonna have to push like hell to get them in there now.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is not going to work. So that's why we're going to have to do a little bit of machining here and get that cylinder to the proper diameter. Yeah. You can see it's not much. It's just a slight couple thousandths that we're going to have to wind up bringing her out, but that's all it is. I misspoke. Forgot that we're actually starting out with a 30 over on this piston, because kind of most people don't really manufacture the standard size pistons anymore, or they're not as easy to come by. So most people, when they're rebuilding engines, are actually starting someplace beyond standard. So it was a lot easier to come by 30 over pistons, and plus it'll get us a slight bit more of displacement. I think it's about 6 or 7 more cubic inches. So nonetheless, our 30 over pistons will bring that bore out from 4.320 to just a little beyond that. 4.35 will be the actual diameter of our cylinder wall, and we're all said and done. 4.320. So heck yeah. Heck yeah. Goodness. Shop doggy. Elliot, what's that? Oh man. Mommy wants to go wide too. Like meat for days. It's a vicious wild. Oh my god, it's so cute. Alright everyone, so I'm gonna do what a good husband will do and sacrifice his own car parts for his wife. So I'm gonna be giving Alex the heads, the crank, and the rods from the 440 that I've got for my Super B. No, this is not the original engine to this car. As you probably know, Super B came only with a 383 option anyway, so I got this 440 just to build for this car because it's going to be badass and we're going to do something cool with it, just like we're doing for Alex's car. But anyway, hers is happening now. Mine, maybe I'll put a stroker crank in it and aluminum heads, but I'll figure out what I'm going to do about heads and crank for mine later down the road. But nonetheless, the engine's still in here though. I can pop those heads off easily, but I can't just get the crankshaft out without like lifting the engine up. And I don't want to get the Super B off the back of Big Bob because that's still a really cool combination. So hopefully I can get over to Roger's shop and we can take Big Bob over there and get a crane and pull the motor out. So we're going to kind of figure that out right now, make a quick measurement. And I've also got another surprise in store for Alex. We've got an 8 3/4 axle housing from one of her friends, but no third member. And we're trying to find one. She's been trying to find your man over here. It's got this. It's the 742 casing. It's the 1 3/4 pinion, 742 case third member with 323 gears and a sure grip in it. So I'm gonna give that to her too, but shh, don't tell her that yet. So that axle, Roger and I are gonna shorten because we're tubbing the Duster and Alex is putting some monster meats back there. So this thing is slowly starting to come together. We're piecing parts. Alex is on the phone right now with Summit trying to order QA1 tubular front K-member and some other parts, and it's kind of hard right now because of what's going on in the world right now. A lot of people have actually been off of work or not, you know, factories have shut down, so the car world is struggling because one, a lot of people have been home working on their projects because they haven't been at work and ordering stuff up, and factories haven't been producing as much product because people aren't there to make them. So there's like a shortage of hot rod equipment and materials out there. So a lot of you might be seeing the same thing right now. It's kind of hard to order like regular stuff. Roger was struggling ordering like 350 Chevy push rods the other day, which is like something very common. 350 Chevy stuff is out there all over the place. So anyway, getting some parts ordered. We're gonna go and see if we can pull this engine out here maybe today or tomorrow and keep working on the 440 block over at the shop. So see you there. My Mopar queen, what were you doing while I was gone? Thanks, babe. Okay.
Oh.
What? Oh, the scratchy sound?
That hurt my soul.
Damn. Mine too. All right, babe. Good shit, babes.
Okay, now, are you done breaking down so I can finish doing what I was doing?
Yeah, in case you guys didn't know, well, you don't because I didn't show you on camera. Cummins has been acting a fool lately, kind of like blipping a little bit at idle, and then all of a sudden when you're driving, the RPMs on the gauge will just drop to 0. So apparently that's a crank position sensor issue, and nonetheless, she didn't want to start when we just went to go leave Roger's driveway to go take the axle to go get it cleaned off with the spray wash. So Alex just came and rescued me. Otis is not happy that we're out here, and she's now doing Duster stuff. So flip the camera back onto some Duster action, babes. Now that the seat's out of the way, because Alex ordered herself a set of really beautiful TMI little bucket seats to put up front. So really nice black bucket seats. It's gonna look good. This Duster is gonna be nice. I even love the little pop-out windows here on the back of this car. It's just the old trusty Dusty. Oh, the Duster. So yep, Alex has got that taken care of while Hefty's over here kind of gutted. And it's just another hot rod heaven night here at Nelly Restoration. So we'll see you guys tomorrow when the Cummins is fixed and we clean that axle. Babe, show the world what you just showed me, because that is absolutely insane.
This Duster is the cleanest A-body you will find that has not been restored yet.
Jesus Christ.
All the way through, baby.
It's like brand new under there.
Yep.
Wow.
I don't fuck around when I pick my cars.
Or your men.
Nah.
She's a rare one. She's a unicorn. My wife. That's my baby, babe. Here we are once again, back to the tire place. They're really starting to love us here. Alex's front wheels and tires for the Duster. We're gonna get these things mounted up and balanced and looking good. And I've also got axles here from Moser for the Coronet, and then the rear end too. So we got a whole bunch of goodness going on. 3 has been nicely deburred and cleaned up. And this block is good for a rebuild someday. So this one is leaving the shop. Now we can focus completely on the 440 that's sitting in here for Alex's Duster. Like we were looking at before, we got to steal the crankshaft out of that 440 that's in the Super B, which is on top of Big Bob's still. So Roger's gonna let me bring that over here. We're gonna drive it down the side, and he's got a huge crane out back, and we're gonna lift this thing out, and it's gonna be a little bit of an interesting thing to see. So you guys stay tuned for that one. I am. There you go. Like it never happened.